Columbus, and I always like to say the sun is always rising in Columbus. It's rising out there somewhere behind some gray and rain, but today's announcement is certainly about the incredible future of this city. I want to thank Council President Hardin and City Council, the Department of Finance and Management. You'll hear from great partners of ours, Leah Evans and Letha Pugh in just a minute. It's a great day to be here at the future location of Fire Station 36. We're here this morning to talk bond funding, and this construction site is active today thanks to $17 million in voter-approved bond funding. Today, we're looking to the future and announcing that we will be putting a bond package worth $1.9 billion on the November ballot. Should Columbus voters approve the issuance of general obligation bonds, the city will have greater opportunity to fund infrastructure projects like Fire Station 36 in neighborhoods all over our city. I want to emphasize this is not a tax increase. I know some of you in the press are newer to town since our last 2022 bond package, and we have new voters because we continue to grow as a city, so it's our job to tell folks and educate folks about how these things work. Let me explain just a little bit about how these voter-approved issues work. With the approval of Columbus voters, the city sells bonds to investors. We use the money raised from the bond sale to fund capital projects that improve our neighborhoods. We use it to build fire stations, police stations, community centers, sidewalks, affordable housing, parks, pools, roads, and more. And then, just like a home buyer paying off their mortgage, we repay those bonds using funds in the SIT, the Special Income Tax Fund. The city puts 25 cents from every $1 of income taxes into the fund, and we use it to pay back the bonds. And thanks to our great auditor who helps us secure our AAA bond rating, investors know that we have some of the most secure debt in the nation. And in return, we get a very low cost of borrowing. This strategy has saved the city tens of millions of dollars in recent years. The money will fall into 5 categories, and there'll be 5 ballot issues before voters this fall. As I mentioned in my State of the City address last month, we're seeking dollars for the neighborhood development and affordable housing for the 3rd time. Affordable housing is a central pillar of the Columbus housing strategy, and the voter-approved housing bonds that we passed in 2019 and 2022 have been particularly impactful. So far, our dollars have supported the construction of more than 4,000 income-qualified affordable rental units, including 633 permanent supportive housing units, which are vital for individuals who have experienced homelessness and need extra support to stay housed. Bond dollars have been used for places like Mulvey Place, Sinclair, Bretton Woods 2, Topiary Park. The $500 million affordable housing bond would keep this progress going. We're seeking $400 million for work on streets, highways, and refuse collection. Previous bond dollars have been used for rebuilding and improving Hudson Street between I-71 and Cleveland Avenue, safety improvements to the intersection of East Broad Street and James Road. We'll earmark $250 million for public safety, health, and infrastructure. As you all know, neighborhood safety is our top priority. It is the largest investment we make from our operating budget, and a significant investment in our capital budget. Each year, our capital budget includes funds for tools and technologies to keep our neighborhoods safe. $17 million from previous bond sales have allowed us to begin construction here at Fire Station 36. Project completion is currently scheduled for March 2026, as long as it stops raining between now and March 2026, right, John? The station will help service the growing population in this area. Public utilities, which is responsible for infrastructure for water and sewer, will receive $500 million to provide clean and safe drinking water and improve our provision of power. Recreational parks will receive $250 million from the bond sale. Previous bond funds have been used to renovate Glenwood and Windsor pools, redevelop McCoy Park, build and renovate our recreation centers, make our parks and playgrounds safer, and plant trees. Bonds give our city the resources we need to improve and support our neighborhoods. When a city stops investing in itself, it risks falling behind. As we say all the time, we don't want to just get bigger, we want to get better. And so that means we have to invest in ourselves, our neighborhoods, into our first responders through these important issues. This bond package will keep our neighborhoods vibrant and ensure we're building a community where opportunity is within reach for all. We're excited because, again, it's worth noting that because of our city's impeccable track record and solid financial footing, we're able to do all of this without increasing property taxes or imposing new taxes of any kind. None of this would be possible without the partnership and support of our colleagues at Columbus City Council. To tell us more about what they're hearing from residents and to echo why these investments are so important, it's my pleasure to introduce our partner, Council President Shannon Hardy.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your leadership, sir, in bringing us to today. To my friend Leah and Letha Pugh, I also think that my colleague, Chair Bankston, is on the way as well. I'll tell him we started because it was raining and cold. Like the mayor said, it is an exciting day in the city of Columbus. I'm proud to stand before you today to talk about something truly transformational for our city, the 2025 municipal bond package. This package represents a bold and necessary step forward. In total, as the mayor said, a $1.9 billion investment in the things that matter most to our residents. So we're talking about numbers, but at the end of the day, this is not about numbers, it's about neighborhoods. It's about streets that we drive on, it's about the water that we drink, the homes that we live in, and the services that we all depend on every day. This is a long-term investment in modernizing Columbus, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. So in this bond package, there is one clear message, that there is a lot of work ahead of us to do. Work to maintain our streets, strengthen our infrastructure, and ensure that we're not only keeping up with our growth, but we're preparing for it. Columbus is growing, and with that growth comes growing needs. This bond package is our way of meeting those needs head on by delivering essential services, strengthening public safety, and building out the systems that support a thriving modern system. For me, I'm excited about all of it, but as chair of the Housing Committee, the mayor putting forward a $500 million housing bond just for housing is critically important to meet this moment. This is a historic opportunity. So we will be able to preserve existing affordable units, rehabilitate aging housing stock, and construct the new homes our community so desperately needs, all without, what the mayor said, without raising taxes. This is the kind of bold action we must take to confront and ultimately solve our housing crisis. Municipal bonds are how cities like ours make innovation and progress possible. They are a commitment to share our shared future, to thoughtful growth, and to uplifting our community. So in the coming weeks, led by Chair Bankston, Council plans to hold hearings on this bond package, including the first one on the housing bond package in the Housing Committee and Homeless and Building Committee on Tuesday, May 27th. So we encourage folks to weigh in, to come kick the tires. I think that you will be just as excited when you see all the different opportunities that this bond package will bring to us. So we look forward to getting to work. And now it is my pleasure to bring forward someone who is literally helping us build ourselves into the future, to make sure that everyone has a place to call home. My friend Leah Evans of Homeport.
Again, I'm Leah Evans. I have the pleasure and to join our esteemed mayor and council president Hardin in speaking about the bond package. And of course, I'm selfishly going to talk about the housing piece, part that I'm most excited of. Our organization, Homeport, we've been in this business for 37 years. It is our privilege to serve the community, rooted in our mission to create strong communities by developing quality, affordable housing. And if you ask anyone who works in housing, regardless of the price point, we will tell you that housing is the foundation for strong and healthy communities because it's the foundation for strong and healthy people. Data tells us that access to housing is critical to physical health, economic mobility, and educational attainment. We have had a 7.4% increase in our number of individuals experiencing homelessness in the past year. From 2023 to 2024, we experienced an average increase of rents at 17%. And we will not talk about for sale home prices because that will be a whole nother conversation for another day. That tells us that our housing system is broken. It needs us to invest and support the transformation for all of us. Since 1987, we have stood as a partner to the city to address the need for housing, but specifically affordable housing. And when we're talking about affordability, we're talking about folks that are making about $20 an hour or less. That's everyone from the grandmother on Social Security to the driver that delivered your package today. Folks that we deemed essential workers just a few years ago. And as our city and our region continues to experience never before seen growth, it is critical that we remain steadfast in our commitment to investing in housing and, most importantly, investing in people. Through the investments of the previous bond packages that the mayor and council president referenced, we at Homeport have been able to create 340 of those affordable apartments and invest over $100 million in housing. That's in neighborhoods with seniors and families in Linden, in Southeast Columbus, in our newest community at Easton, leasing right now. If anybody needs the number, you let me know. We're looking for people. These investments, along with the updates to the city zoning code, the support for Link Us and our transformative transportation systems, and the collaboration around education and workforce are what's closing the gap for Columbus residents. This is our time. We cannot get weary with doing good. Change is hard earned, and we did not get to the top of the growth and economic success without intentional investment. It's because of our ability to stand here in the present and imagine a future that we're able to welcome all of our coming residents, but also celebrate and uplift our current residents. So that we can continue to make progress, we need to keep moving the needle and continue to have the support of the people of Columbus to invest in housing. And not only are we investing in housing, but we're investing in our future. Thank you and for letting me and our team at Homeport be a part of the future of this city as we celebrate all of the history that made us strong. It is my pleasure to welcome an inspiring civic leader and our local business mogul, Lisa Pugh, to talk a little bit more about her role in Parks and Rec.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let's see here. I have on my Commissioner Rec and Park hat today. Thank you all for being here. My name is Letha Pugh, and I have the honor of serving as president of the Columbus Recreation and Parks Commission. I was called to serve on this commission because as both a mother and a small business owner, I see every day how vital our parks and recreation spaces are to the quality of life here in Columbus. My family and I regularly visit our city parks, attend the community events, and take full advantage of the many low-cost and no-cost programs and amenities that Columbus Recreation and Parks provides. Columbus is home to more than 450 parks, 230 miles of trails, 8 outdoor pools, summer camps, and countless free events that bring communities together. These aren't just extras. They are essential investments in wellness, nature, and connectivity. As our city continues to grow, I'm proud to say that this bond package is a promise kept, a commitment to expanding access, improving infrastructure, and planning the future for every resident. One investment I'm especially proud of is in our aquatic system. Access to pools and swim lessons isn't just about fun. It's about safety, health, and wellness. In 2023, we laid out the Aquatics Capital Improvement Plan, and we're following through. Glenwood and Windsor pools have been rebuilt. We'll begin construction of a rebuilt Marion Franklin pool as soon as the 2025 swim season ends, and then we'll move forward with the replacement of Marion Franklin pool. We're also designing a new Northeast Indoor Aquatic Center, which will provide year-round swimming and fitness opportunities for all residents, from elementary school students all the way to our growing senior population. This state-of-the-art facility will also draw competitions from across the country and even the globe, further cementing Columbus as one of the best places to live, work, and visit. We're also delivering on promises to support climate resilience and healthy neighborhoods by expanding our urban forest. This bond package will allow us to plant more street trees across Columbus, boosting public health, cooling our communities, and strengthening neighborhood pride. And we're reinvesting in the community spaces that matter most, including new connections like the Big Walnut Trail extension to essential upgrades in playgrounds, outdoor courts, parking lots, and hard surfaces throughout the city. Together, these projects reflect the values we share: sustainability, wellness, and access for all. This bond package isn't just about building infrastructure. It's about delivering on our commitment to residents, to the children who learn to swim, the seniors who walk our trails, the families who gather at neighborhood parks, and communities that count on these spaces every single day. Promises made, promises kept. And I couldn't be more excited to support this vision for Columbus's future. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Letha. And I know the Banks' family is very excited about that new aquatic center right down the street from you guys. Councilmember Nick Bankson, who chairs our finance committee, has joined us. Would you like to share any words, Councilman?
Well, thank you, Mayor, and so excited to be here. Sorry I was running late. This is the first time that the council president and the mayor's remarks are so short that I got here. But no, I'm really excited about this bond package. I think we can sum it up in one word, that this is about the future of our city, building for the growth that is coming, while also making sure that we're investing in our neighbors of today. So I'm so excited as Chair of Finance to take this up for council. We will run a robust process, but looking forward to going out to the voters and sharing this vision with them for a better Columbus. So again, thank you all for being here. Thank you to our partners in this work, because this is just not simply just about investment, but it's about also a partnership to get these types of things done. So thank you, Mayor, for this bold vision that you are setting us upon, and looking forward to doing the work. Thank you.
So one other thing that I wanted to mention, I want to thank everybody for their comments and thoughts and all the work up till now, the city team as well. I think one of the things I would mention before we take questions is this is a great way. John, I didn't realize which companies are working on this project.
Elford is the general contractor.
Elford's the general contractor, they're architects. So
Mullen Whiteman Architects. Yep.
good to see you, Rana.
Yep.
So this is one of the other things about the bond package in these projects. All the folks working on these projects are paying income tax. And so 2.5% of all the money they make goes back into our city for basic city services. So it's a great way for us to invest capital dollars without raising taxes, but helping to support basic city services through the general fund. So it's a great way for us to continue to invest in ourselves, putting our neighbors to work on these critically important infrastructure projects that also help fund basic city services, police, fire, recreation and parks, health, public service that are so important. So with that, I'll be happy to take any questions for the press, and all the tough questions go to Councilmember Bankston for that little quip earlier. Yes.
When it comes to the $500,000 or the $500 million, for affordable housing in the city, I'm curious, are you able to say at this point how much of that money would be spent towards handling current units that have been built versus building new units? You referenced the 400,000 or the 4,000 that were built with the last two bonds. What are we looking at with this?
We're still considering a variety of things. I think one of the things really important is to make sure we preserve affordable housing, because the folks that are already feeling this housing crisis more than anybody right now are seniors and lower income earners. They're already feeling the squeeze that this crisis is creating. And so it's really important we make sure we keep people in their homes. It is so much cheaper and better for families and for our community to keep people in the homes they're in right now, as opposed to that downward spiral of homelessness, the way it impacts folks throughout the community. So it will certainly be new units. It will certainly be preserving existing. It will also be investing in existing to make sure that families are able to enjoy and take advantage of these resources for years to come. We know we need 200,000 more units in the region over the next 10 years, and I've committed to 100,000 right here in the city of Columbus, and this will help us go towards that. Yes, Jordan.
Mayor, why are we able to go so much higher on the affordable housing bond package? Were previous affordable housing bond packages lower and you realized you could go higher this time?
Well, I think a variety of things. I think most folks realize that this is the most important issue facing the community. This is going to be council and my top priority. And so we needed to make sure we were putting forth the most ambitious housing request to the voters of the city in the history of the city, because this crisis is one that needs all hands on deck. We also believe with the launch of the Regional Housing Coalition, which is going to be a public-private partnership incubated at the Columbus Partnership. So this housing coalition is going to be for housing what Columbus 2020 and One Columbus has been for economic development. So this P3 will wake up every day helping us figure out how do we get those 200,000 units. And those aren't all affordable. This 500 million will be really focused on affordable housing. Our goal is to get the private sector to step up their investment and to help us getting more market rate and workforce units. We need 200,000 more of all of the above. But this is going to be our top priority moving forward, and that's why it's such a historic ask. We know that if we don't do something dramatically different in the next 10 years, the people who work in this community will struggle to be able to live here, and that's unacceptable. Yes.
Mayor, one thing people have been waiting for is that police substation in the Hilltop. Will this money go towards building more of those substations or even fire stations?
Yeah, so the previous bond issues, I think, will have all the resources needed for that station on the Hilltop. There have been some delays because we're acquiring property from the state, but we're on track, and that should be in place with previous bond sales and proceeds. This will certainly help fund additional fire stations, police substations, the real-time crime center, other things that we know are critically important for public safety. Also, we use these resources for fire apparatus, and clearly that's something that we want to continue to invest in as well. That's what this bond package will go towards. But also dump trucks, snow plows, all those types of things that can come out of capital dollars that are so important for a growing city. Yes?
So people hear bond issue, and I think it makes them really afraid of higher taxes. Nobody wants to pay that right now. So I know you said it's not going to cost people anything. Can you just kind of talk about why that is and how you would reassure a voter who came to you and said they're
It's a great question, and one that, you know, I'm born and raised in Columbus. I'm in the minority. I'm used to these every 3 or 4 years, but you're absolutely right. Not only do we have new reporters, we have new residents and new voters. And so it's important, I walked through earlier how this process works, but in essence, we get the approval for voter-backed bonds that then we issue, and we use those proceeds to fund these capital projects. We repay those by taking a quarter of every dollar we get in income tax and put it towards debt service. So we're able to invest in ourselves, create jobs, invest in neighborhoods without raising taxes. So you raise an important point. When a lot of people hear bond issues, they think about schools, or they think about other things where a property tax would be increased. A property tax has not been levied by the city of Columbus since 1956. I always want to say 54, 56, because of this SIT and the way this system works. So every 3 or 4 years, we go to the voters to ask for their approval, because when the voters support these issues, they have upwards 60, 65, 68, 70% of the voters have supported them, it helps us save tens of millions of dollars of interest that otherwise would have to be councilmatic issued debt. So I'm sure we'll circulate more background information to the press, especially if you're covering a bond package for the first time, just so you have all that. Yes?
Everybody's going to want to know if their neighborhood's going to get a new community center, a repaved road, a refurbished park. Can you share any specific projects that would get some of these funds?
Well, certainly there are things that are part of our longer-term capital improvements plan that would be funded, through this bond package approval. It's something we're going to continue to look at. One of the reasons council's doing all these hearings is to hear from the public about what their priorities are. But certainly, you've heard about some of our priorities. The Linden Community Center happened because of this. The Aquatic Center happened because of bond packages that have been passed in the past. Obviously, our real-time crime center is in process because of these things. So there are lots of examples to point to, and we'll certainly share more specifics, once the council has kind of finished their hearing part of the portion. Yes?
The $1.9 billion package, is that the biggest package? Do you have any sense of
Biggest bond package we've ever put on the ballot, $1.9 billion? Yes. And the city's the biggest it's ever been too. So we got a lot of work to do, a lot of investments to make. And we're, to what we said earlier, we're not interested in just getting bigger. We want to get better. And that means we got to invest in ourselves and our infrastructure and our future. Put people to work, fund basic city services, make neighborhoods safer and stronger. That's what this is all about. Yes?
I hate to take us
Clearly the guy that's dry underneath the tent's guy.
Well,
He's all bundled up in a coat.
My apologies for taking us off topic for a second, but we are talking about city funding today.
Sure.
Today in court, Sanctuary Night on the west side of the hilltop was held at contempt of court. I know that receives a number of dollars from the city. Given the fact that they were held in contempt of court today, would that necessitate an immediate freeze of city funding, or would you look at that? What would that happen?
The Sanctuary Night provides critical services in our community. We're proud partners and supporters of Sanctuary Night. But everybody that operates in our community needs to be a good neighbor. And we believe that working with the city attorney, with city council, with the administration, we can get that done. But it's our expectation that if you serve the people of this community, that you're a good neighbor and you do your part to make sure you're protecting the neighborhood. So we'll continue to work with the courts, the city attorney, and council to make sure that's happening. But they're going to be held accountable if they're not a good neighbor. But they provide critically important services. I mean, human trafficking is one of the greatest sayings and travesty of the 21st century, and one that we want to continue to do everything we can to invest, in getting folks out of that vicious cycle and chain. Thanks, everybody. Stay warm, stay dry.